If you just give me a couple minutes of your time, I will give you 6 best foods that you could eat right now, today, if your goal is to lose fat and get leaner for summer, because summer is right around the corner, under 1 month away. And if you're watching this, you want to lose some fat, right? There are 6 foods, and I'll just tell you what it is because they have allowed me to go from this, when I started almost 9 years ago, right? Just average fat kid, to this, right? You can see night and day transformation. And I was able to do this while having terrible genetics. You know, most people that you see online, most fitness coaches or influencers have amazing genetics and they're not natural. I'm the complete opposite of that. I am natural and I have terrible genetics. So if I was able to do it, you can do it certainly too. Now, this video is only for one specific type of person. It's only for entrepreneurs, okay? For business owners who are overweight, who are looking to lose some body fat and ultimately build the aesthetic body. That is what I help people with on this YouTube channel. And if you're this type of person, you're going to benefit a lot from it. Quickly before we get into it, my videos are not flashy dopamine fill. I'm not going to have transitions every 2 seconds. They're pretty boring to the average person, right? Because the average person is fucking addicted to dopamine. So I just have a fucking Miro board right here. I talk over it, and if you just care about value, not fucking entertainment, then you're gonna like this video and you're gonna like a lot of my other videos as well. And you wanna stick to the end because the last one is by far the most powerful. It's my favorite, like the favorite, because it's so fucking good. The first thing that you should eat, the first food that you should eat, is not a food, it's actually a consumable thing. It's caffeine, right? Maybe you already drink coffee, consume caffeine, but the reason why you want to do this is because caffeine blunts your hunger, suppresses your appetite, and it makes you less hungry. I've been fucking drinking caffeine for, bro, 8+ years, every single day virtually, haven't had any real problems. It's what allowed me to feel less hungry, and it's so much easier to stick to your calorie deficit when you don't need to eat excess food. And if you didn't know, calorie deficit is what you need to have if you want to lose fat. Like, if you're not in a deficit, you're not going to lose fat. So that's the first food. The second food is fruit. Fruit, compared to other foods, is pretty fucking low calorie. And I have 2 fruits in specific that I want to show you, right? The first one is watermelon, and the second is strawberries. Now, watermelon is literally the lowest calorie fruit that you could possibly eat. It has a lot of water. It's pretty sweet, so it tastes good. So it's gonna fill up your stomach so that you don't need to eat any odd food or like binge eat on junk food. And it's gonna keep you full, right? Which is basically the whole premise of this video, is to give you foods that are gonna fill you up and not make you hungry, right? So that you can eat lower calories, be in a deficit, and lose fat. The second one is strawberries. Strawberries are the best food, literally, after fucking watermelon. They have low calories. They taste really nice. It's the same as watermelon, like, right? They both taste really good, but it's just that strawberries taste, in my opinion, a little bit better. I prefer them a little bit more. But they do have a little bit more calories than watermelon. But watermelon is a great choice. So both of them, right? You want to eat both of them. The next food is a macronutrient, protein. Now, the reason why you want to eat protein, and specifically these foods, right? Chicken, beef, eggs, salmon, tuna, and steak, is because protein, out of all 3 macronutrients, we have protein, carbs, and fats. Protein is the most satiating, the most filling, right? For 200 calories or 100 calories of protein, you're going to be more full than if you eat 100 calories or 200 calories of carbs or 100 or 200 calories of fats. You want to eat preferably lower fat, leaner cuts of meat, such as chicken, 93.7 or close to 100% lean ground beef. For example, egg whites have less calories than eggs. You still want to eat eggs, salmon for your health, but just keep in mind that the fatter the beef, the more eggs you eat and the more salmon you eat, these are higher fat proteins that have higher contents of fat, which means that they're gonna simply have a lot of calories. You want to eat them for health, they're gonna fill you up, but just be careful. They have more calories than, for example, tuna or chicken, or just, very lean beef. So things like steak, eggs, and salmon are going to have more calories than, for example, tuna, chicken, and beef. You want to incorporate as many of these as possible, but if you really want to just maximize the lowest amount of calories, I would go with chicken number one, as lean of a cut that you can get from beef, maybe some egg whites. I would personally eat the whole egg just because it's so fucking nutrient dense, and I would eat tuna. Steak and eggs is a great meal that you could have. And then we get into the next food, which is none other than vegetables, right? Vegetables, extremely low calories. They're good for you. Lettuce, cauliflower, broccoli, corn, carrots, and peas. Lettuce and cauliflower and broccoli especially have the lowest calories. Corn has a bit more. Carrots are pretty low calories. Peas are kind of like corn. So the lowest calories are lettuce, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, and then corn and peas. I personally really like lettuce and corn and peas and some carrots. I'm not really a fan of cauliflower and broccoli, but they don't have a lot of calories and they're gonna make you full. So, you know, that's a trade-off that you could potentially make. Now, we're almost at the end. The fifth food group that you should eat is dessert, low calorie dessert. For example, Halo Top ice cream, right? Compared to regular ice cream, it only has 370 calories per tub. It obviously varies depending on what flavor you get, but this is a great way to curb your sweet tooth, get rid of that sugar craving, and just actually have your diet sustainable. Because I'm not one of those motherfuckers that's gonna tell you to just eat clean all the time, because I did that, man. Like in the beginning of my journey, it worked, but then I lost over 37 pounds with it, but then it just wasn't sustainable, and I had to figure out a more sustainable way, and I started including things like these, right? Low calorie desserts. And one specific thing that I learned through my almost 9 year experience now is you want to find dessert, right? Sweets, treats, things like chocolate bars, etc., that you like, but that you only have to eat a little bit of it and then you're good, right? For example, there are certain junk foods that I can eat just a little bit of them and like I'm good for the day. I don't have any sugar or junk food cravings after that, and it has a little bit of calories compared to if I eat some other food that has a lot more calories. I'm gonna want to eat a lot of it, right? And I'm just gonna kind of go in binge eat food mode. So you want to find foods that have low calories that you can eat a little bit of it and be satisfied. Halo Top ice cream is a good alternative to regular ice cream. You can obviously still have regular ice cream. I still have it personally, but just keep in mind that this is what you want to eat, right? And then last but not least, which is my favorite, and hopefully you've watched up until this point because this one is fucking good, man. Last but not least is diet drinks. Look at my freezer. My freezer is right here. This is what I have on top of my freezer, right? Monster energy drinks. I'm a big fan of energy drinks. 0 calorie Pepsi, 0 calorie Pepsi, low calorie Sprite. These foods are really fucking good because they have caffeine, they blunt your hunger, you get that sugar satisfaction out of drinking them. It's just fun to drink, man. I personally drink an energy drink every single day and I just like it. That's why I drink it, and it blunts my hunger. I don't need to eat breakfast. I think breakfast is a scam, by the way, in case you were wondering. Pepsi, right here, this has 0 calories, right? Like 5 calories or something. This is really good. But even these, they have like 100, 150, 200 calories. They're still great, right? Because yes, you're sacrificing a little bit of calories, but what you get in return is like no hunger. No hunger, suppressed appetite. You don't need to eat a lot of food after. You get caffeine to boost your performance, mental cognition, right, to work on your business, and it just fucking tastes really nice. So I personally am okay with having this trade-off with drinking these, getting 100 to 200 calories, but that allows me to not eat a lot of junk food throughout the day, right? And junk food is what is the number one fucking problem and the reason why people are overweight. People can't stop eating it. And if so, if there was a way that we could kind of hack our mental system, our brain, with other foods such as this, right? And other foods that I've mentioned here, we can essentially hack our brain and not have to eat as much junk food because we simply don't have the craving. Bro, when I drink one of these a day, I don't really have that many cravings for sugar for to just go on a binge eat session. I haven't had a binge eating session in fucking like years because of this reason, because I allow myself balance. A lot of fitness influencers, gurus, whatever you want to call them, are gonna tell you, oh, you can't have foods like these, but then you just fucking, it's not sustainable. If you don't know me, you probably don't, but my entire point in fitness is it needs to be sustainable because that's how you enjoy basically every single day and you don't suffer on your way to getting your dream physique. That is something that I had to learn the hard way because in the beginning, I did the just eat clean, bro, 24/7, and I got pretty decent results with it, but it wasn't sustainable. So I had to figure out this system, and I would rather enjoy my life every day, have balance, still, have these foods right here that are my favorite, but still eat healthy foods like fruit, eggs, protein, and vegetables, and just have balance. Because as cliche as it sounds, in fitness, having balance is actually super fucking important, in my opinion. And my opinion is pretty fucking great considering I was able to go from this to this with terrible genetics. So, this is the magical list of 6 foods. Hopefully, you like this. Now, disclaimer, if you overeat on these foods, right? If you eat these healthy foods like salmon, eggs that I mentioned, steak, whatever, and you're not in a deficit at the end of the day, you will not get leaner. The number one rule of fat loss is you need to be in a fucking calorie deficit. You can eat shit food and be in a deficit and get leaner. You can eat only healthy, only clean 24/7, not be in a deficit, and you'll gain weight. You won't lose weight. So calorie deficit is the number one thing that you need to get right. We want to be in a calorie deficit, eat our favorite foods like diet drinks, like low calorie desserts, etc. But still eat healthy, right? Beef, eggs, vegetables, fruit. We want to have balance. And that's the main point that I wanted to get across to you in this video. So, yeah, if this video was helpful, give it a like, drop me a follow for more. If you want to just speed up this entire process, not waste years and like months of making mistakes and sifting through the bullshit of the internet, just check out the description, watch the video that just popped up on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Hopefully, you can get leaner for summer with this exact list of 6 foods. All right? Bye bye.